Alright, so I've been scripting for a good while now, and I've learned a thing or two when it comes to optimizing my time while working. I know that this was probably not a video topic that you thought I'd cover, especially after, well, nearly 3 weeks absent from YouTube.
You can't keep getting away with it!
But just hear me out, alright?
No.
This video is about to be good, trust. Personally, I wouldn't skip this video, but that's just me. Learning to type faster is really not the only way to code faster. There are a lot of things that you can actually do to save time, and you'll see what I mean. But I feel like I'm kinda yapping, so let's get started with the video, shall we? Alright, so number one is use modules. Modules give you the ability to reuse code through different scripts. And not only that, but also allow any changes made to the code to be updated throughout all the other scripts. If you don't know what module scripts are or how they work, you need to watch some tutorials on it ASAP. You're missing out on one of the best features. Number two, this one is similar to the last one, but I wanted to put it anyways just in case. And it's kind of obvious, and it's use functions. Functions have the same purpose as module scripts, but just like on a smaller scale. It lets you reuse the code on your script by just typing the name of the function. And of course, functions have other uses, but if you know that you'll be needing the same code over and over again in the same script, then at that point you might just put that code in a function. Imagine you'll be using a piece of code in 10 different scripts. If later you realize that you've made a mistake, now you'll have to fix all the 10 scripts. If the code you write in them is fairly simple and or short, then there's no issue. But if it's longer code or more complex code, yeah buddy, you're cooked. I had to learn this the hard way, and trust me when I say it's not pretty when that happens. You don't want to be there. Number three, reuse code from previous projects. Now, if you're very new to scripting, then this tip might not apply to you because you might not have other projects. But for those of you that have other projects, this is something that I do personally a lot when I'm starting a new project. If you've made something similar to what you want in the past, then just copy and paste the old code into your new project. Sure, it might require some modifications, but it's better than building it from scratch every time. For my Star Wars inspired game project, I made an armor equipping script. I'm creating a new game right now called Nexus that has armors too. Do you think I coded from scratch new code for the armor system of Nexus? Hell no. I literally copied the code from the Star Wars one and pasted it into the new one. I had to modify it a little bit so it actually fits the game, but as I said, it's better than doing everything from scratch. Number four, don't make the names of your variables too short. Making your variable names as small as possible can look like a good idea on the surface, and a lot of people actually vouch for this, but me personally, I don't think it's very smart to do that. I found myself trying to remember what a variable means or what it's used for after I name it something too short. It's not a big issue because you can always trace the variable back to when you created it to see what it actually does. But if you name too many variables something too short, it will become a problem. The only circumstance where naming your variable something incredibly short is acceptable is if you already gotten 100% used to naming that variable that way. What do I mean? In my case, I'm used to naming replicated storage RS in my variables, local player as LP. You know what I mean? Hopefully you get what I mean. Number five, write down how you'll code your systems. So ideally, you want to write down what systems you'll be needing for your game and also how they're connected together. You gotta get specific, right? For example, I'm gonna use if statements to filter through this, and then I'll loop through that. I'll create a new value, store it inside a character, and then retrieve it here to do X. That way, once you start coding, you'll spend less time thinking about how to code what you want and more time actually coding what you want. Now, if you don't want to write it down, first of all, you're a and second of all, at least take a mental note of it. 6, keep the scripts that you're working on for the systems the closest in the tab. I'll show you what I mean. I think this one's kind of confusing, but let me explain. So if you ever try to make a full game or somewhat of a complex project, then you're gonna notice that you'll have a lot of scripts open in your main tab. You may not want to close all of them, but definitely keep the ones that you're dealing with right now accessible to you by dragging them nearer to the left. This is an obvious one, but you'd be surprised of how often people forget to do this and they just spend time scrolling in the main tab to find a script that they need and then scrolling back to the script that they were in previously just so they can keep coding. Some of us forget to do that, and yeah, that's just one of the many blessings of having 2 remaining brain cells, but it's alright though. Number 7, focus. Don't worry, I won't just leave it at that. Let me elaborate. Actually, there's something very specific I want to cover in relation to focusing while scripting. and that is music. Bro, trust me when I say you can script so much faster if you just stop listening to this hype music when you're coding, and you'd actually make a lot more progress. If the music you listen to has lyrics, you're really setting yourself up to code significantly slower. Stay away from music with lyrics and also from hype music. If you're gonna code, try to listen to music that's more calm and more simple. Otherwise, your brain will be splitting your attention between two things, ultimately causing you to code slower. And number 8, and the last one, is sleep. Try to sleep your 8 hours if possible. I understand that sometimes you just can't, but try to sleep as much as possible. The more sleep you get, the less brain fog you get. Brain fog is these periods where your mind just goes blank. Brain fog also causes you to think slower, and it makes you forget things a lot quicker. So you don't want that, obviously. Something interesting is that you can actually push through brain fog and almost nullify its effect through willpower alone. But ideally, you don't want to rely on your willpower all the time. So if you gotta stop gaming for 2 hours, just do so. If you gotta stop scrolling through TikTok or Instagram or whatever for 2 hours, just do so. Even 1 hour can make the difference, bro. Like, bro, come on, you're trying to become a game developer. You gotta be better than that. And yeah, bro, that's all I got for now. If you're wondering why I didn't upload for this long, I recently got a full-time job and it kinda threw my whole schedule off. I literally had to wake up at 5 just to record this video. Also, I had to fix my laptop, and in the process, I lost all the files that I had. So yeah, that's that. I'll do my best to upload once a week, but I'm not gonna lie, it is getting kinda hard, but it is what it is. Also, my friend Smokey just started a new YouTube channel called Truncated. Hopefully I said it right. He was one of the first people to support my channel. I was one of the guests for his podcast called Audit Podcast, so I'd appreciate if you check out his channel, link in the description. This said, keep leveling up, bro, be safe, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.